Welcome to my channel again. Today is going to be a little bit special because I will be reviewing on the K&F Concept Nano X Black Mist 1.8 lens filter on my Leica D-Lux 8. So I just received this lens today and I was pretty excited to try out. So without further ado, let's review some of the photos I've taken with this K&F Black Mist 1.8 lens on my camera. Let's go through the first picture. Upon arrival of this probably like a clubhouse, I saw this very interesting rooftop that is triangular in shape, but that's not the point. The black mist actually gives a very nice blooming effect on the lightings, so straight away you can actually see this spotlight kind of thing that is shining towards in my direction. And immediately with this picture you can see there's some quite interesting, beautiful blooming effect of these bright lights. The good thing is, I think, because it's a 1/8 strength, it's not too strong, so it still retain that sharpness, especially on the railings that you see, and the roof tiles, the orange roof tiles is still pretty sharp in the picture. I'm using a very slow shutter tonight, 1/30 of a second with an aperture of f5. So in this next picture, it is the same roof but on the other side. I'm facing a very bright lighting shining straight into the camera, and you can see this very strong blooming effect of this flood light. So far, I think this lens, based on these two photos, I'm pretty satisfied. But let's go on to the next picture that I want to show you is the indoor. So in this building, there's this cluster of downlights, light bulbs is white in color, and from this angle it doesn't really impress us because you can't really see that the blooming effect of this bulb. But on the next picture, somehow it just gives a lot of that bloom effect from the black mist lens. So I'm not too sure why, but maybe it's because of the exposure. So that could be something I need to find out. So let's move on to the next picture I would like to show you is at the location with a fish pond, and right at the top right corner there is a floodlight or spotlight, something like that. It's pretty strong intensity shining towards this pond. So you can see that the refractions of the pond water is still pretty sharp, with that tiny specks of refraction of the waves or ripples created by the fish and the aeration pump. Yet it still creates that nice blooming flare at the far ends, those spotlight. Here is another scene at the waterfront. Some beautiful boats. What I feel about this photo is the softness to it. Yeah, some light blooming around that white boat, not very strong, I guess, because the boat is not really of high intensity illumination. It's not a very bright light. The brightness is cast by the buildings behind me. Let's go to the next picture, which is another view along the long stretch of pier. Towards the far left is the building with a cluster of very bright blowing lights. You can see it's like I couldn't really make out how many light bulbs are there. Probably that's really a lot, but it gives a sense of how these filters work. Because if you look to the right side where the boat is, the clarity is still there. If you look at the street lamps, those are the orange street lamps, somewhat a little bit of a blooming effect, and I think it's pretty nice. I'm not too sure if using a quarter strength or half strength, what would these street lamps turn out to be. But probably more blooming and more flaring, I guess. Here's a shot of the two gentlemen sitting at the desk, looking at their phone and drinking beers. I think it just creates some kind of a very moody scene, which I kind of like it. So there is another photo that I'd like to share with you, which is a man. This gentleman who is in his white silver hair, leaning over the railings. So this kind of effects brings me to my thoughts that this kind of create a kind of a very sad mood, perhaps because of the scene. So alternatively, it probably will bring up some very romantic or cinematic shots if given a different scene, of course. So I think this lens is pretty creative in a way, and not too strong of an effect to blur out every scene, and still retain quite a lot of clarity, and only the bright lights are affected by this blooming effect. So I think this is quite an interesting lens, and I probably will be holding on to this lens on the camera and probably to try out in the daylight shots. If you've not subscribed to this channel, I hope you can subscribe, because I'll be uploading new videos, and especially with the next upcoming video with a daylight street photography using the K&F Concepts Nano X Black Mist 1.8 lens. So see you guys around.